The Black American jazz singer who shocks the upper crust by romancing Lady Rose. And now, a very present-day, real-life romance is breaking the race barrier on a glorious walk down the aisle. Emma McQuiston is not unlike many young women, hoping one day to find Mr. Right.
I think every little girl dreams of a fairy tale wedding.
But Emma's dream is coming true, because that diamond tiara is made of real diamonds.
If you've got diamonds, you should wear them.
Her Mr. Right
It's a pretty surreal experience.
It's totally surreal.
is a real aristocrat. This summer, when the glamorous Emma married Ciaran Finn, the Viscount Weymouth, she was making history.
I am Emma McQuiston.
Why? Well, the wedding was what you might call big. 355 guests, a staff of almost 200, the affair taking place on his estate called Longleat, the biggest private home in England. Grand, yes, but what made it historic is the fact that Emma is breaking the race barrier, about to become England's very first black marchioness. That's the wife of a marquess, just one step below Duchess. The match made news. Emma understood why.
It is noteworthy that I will be the first black marchioness.
She told Tatler magazine back in May, just before the wedding, "There's class, and then there's the racial thing. It's a jungle, and I'm going through it, discovering things as I grow up." But today she seems more at ease.
We did the wedding pictures in here.
Yeah.
As she told us in her first American television interview.
You know, hopefully race doesn't need to determine who you are, what you're like, or where you need to be. Of course, it should be irrelevant. If we're going to think about it, I think we'll have to think it's a good thing, surely.
Royal watchers agree.
I think everybody who saw the pictures of the first black marchioness, Lady Weymouth, I think everybody was rather thrilled, actually, because it felt like at last the aristocracy was beginning to represent, you know, the country as a whole.
It was at another family wedding that the two first met as children. She was just 3 years old.
In my mind, Emma was always a child or a teenager, you know. And we re-met, and Emma was now an adult, and a new dynamic ensued.
The little girl he remembered had blossomed into a bombshell.
It was like, wow, you're
Changed.
definitely not 15 anymore. You know? So, yes,
Completely
there was
different.
that wow moment.
Though a commoner, Emma comes from wealth. Her mother is a British socialite, and her father an Oxford-educated Nigerian oil tycoon. Things get really interesting on Ciaran's side of the family. His father is Alexander, the notorious Marquess of Bath.
He's quite a sort of flamboyant character. He basically looks like something out of Harry Potter. Long hair, beard, you know, incredible robes.
Wait a minute.
Very gaudy clothes, a cross between Dumbledore and Gandalf. He has had a series of wifelets, he calls them, which are basically mistresses who live in various parts of the house. He's covered Longleat with these very large, very lurid, sometimes quite pornographic murals that he's painted himself. So here you are, you in your beautiful 18th century stately home, and your dad has painted naked women all over the wall. You can see that might be quite challenging.
What's the other one called?
Alfie,
Alfie.
Yeah.
Compared to their parents' generation, Emma and Ciaran seem, well, downright traditional.
I think we just want it to be classic and timeless.
And although they do have staff, it's nothing like the days of Downton Abbey.
These are the original bells that they would have pressed, like Downton Abbey. We don't use them anymore.
But they do have help, and Emma needs it.
Isn't it great?
Now that the wedding is over, it's time to redecorate.
Then also we need to find some side tables.
For most of us, that might mean a trip to IKEA. For Emma, it involves a journey through the huge house to find what's been stored away.
It feels quite magical up here. Sort of makes you feel like Alice in Wonderland, because there's lots of doors, all locked all the time. When you open one, inside are treasures. Ooh!
Ah, this is all the reserve porcelain and glass. Some of it's waiting to be conserved.
Okay, 610 paintings in the inventory.
Wow.
Is this really a home? It looks more like the Metropolitan Museum of Art.
Okay, we need to move the large painting, which is just inside this room.
Emma is replacing some of her father-in-law's favorite lurid frescoes with some more conventional artwork she's found in the attic.
Well done.
In this place, it takes a village to hang a painting.
It's the Battle of the Amazons, so it's quite a dramatic picture. I just love the collection of horses and people and soldiers and armour and flags, and there's a lot going on. This is the estate office here. This is where Seolin goes to work every day.
When Emma married Seolin, she not only married a man, she married a business.
Display of family archives and an ice cream shop.
She's really marrying a house which has a couple of restaurants, it's a wedding venue, it's a conference centre, an amusement park. I mean, it's like you're marrying into Disneyland, basically.
Believe it or not, there's an actual safari park right on the estate. It was the first of its kind in the world outside Africa, and today attracts almost 1 million visitors a year.
So pretty.
The new leading lady of Longleat loves being with the animals, small and large.
So sweet. Woo! Hi. You're a bit cold.
So we had to ask the obvious question.
Tell the truth about what?
Did you marry Seolin for his animals?
No. Obviously not.
The glamorous 27-year-old actually has career plans all her own.
Quite vampy.
Vampy.
She's interested in fashion, posing for the cover of You magazine just a few months ago. She has a food blog and ambitions of having her own cooking show. While we were there, she whipped up one of her specialties.
I'm making some ravioli for dinner. I'm using crab. It's best not to overfill them. Put these into the boiling water. There you go. Ta-da!
While she's hoping to win over the food critics, Emma's new husband is sure she has all the ingredients to be a success.
Here's an individual who's extremely bright, extremely beautiful, extremely responsible, so and yet extremely fun-loving to boot. So you really have a package of all of the qualities there.
Everything, including love of tradition, found in this, one of Britain's newest aristocratic couples, here in the land of Downton.
Coming up on Mysteries of the Castle, Beyond Downton Abbey.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite you to the dining room while dinner is served.
At the most over-the-top